Welcome to Rooster TV, and today we're joined by 2016 senior coach Josh Carr. Thanks for joining us, Josh.
No worries.
Firstly, let's have a quick chat about your transition from Port Adelaide to Prospect this year. Obviously, you finished the AFL season. How have you settled in at Prospect, and what have you put in place?
Yeah, look, it's been pretty exciting for myself to walk into the football club, especially being able to watch the final series, and I got to do that from the moment it was announced to see the reserves and the 18s playing the finals, and it was good to see a few of the young guys coming through what I've got to work with. So that was great for me, and then to be able to start putting the program in place through October, and then coming back into pre-season and seeing where the players were at. They came back in okay shape, but being able to work with them now for just over a month, and things are starting to look okay.
And I suppose the difference in programs, coming from an AFL program, dropping back into a sample system where all the players work, and how have you found the adaptation from AFL to SANFL?
Yeah, I think that's the challenge, as the senior coach, to be able to deal with players that have got an everyday job. That some of them, a lot of them are labourers that are dealing with some pretty hard work, and then coming to training, and I take my hat off to them really to be able to deal with that. Like a Teasdale, who's a labourer and comes out and wins all the runs. So I've got a lot of respect for what they do, and it's that balance of professional environment versus an AFL system where it's absolute the utmost professionals in that they do it every day, all day, to SANFL where they've got to have a balanced lifestyle.
Yep. And pre-season to date, obviously, as you mentioned, 4 weeks worth. What have you found from the playing group, and what you've tried to implement early in the season?
Yeah, look, I think it's a group that's still learning what's required to be an elite SANFL team. There's no complaints from any of the players, which is great. Whatever I throw at them, they have a crack at it. From the first week where I thought they were a little bit behind to where we are right now, going into the last week, I think they've made up a lot of ground and are training well and pushing really hard. Still a lot of work to be done. Going into next season, 2016, but I feel like they're on the right track.
Yep. And a couple of track burners. You mentioned Luke Teasdale, obviously with his running capacity. Anyone else that stood out for you?
Yeah, look, I think there's Marlon Motlop obviously wins the best and fairest. You can see why he's been such a good player for the footy club over the last year or so. Then you got a couple of look at a couple of recruits. Luke Wharton, who's come to the footy club, as far as running ability, he's been very good. Don't know, help me out, Daryl. Who else would there be? I think overall, the guys. We've had 40. I reckon we had 44 guys on the track in our last training session. We've got a few senior players that have had operations that are slowly filtering back into the system, and I think come January we're going to have a pretty full list to be out on the training track, and hopefully by round 1 my job will be really hard picking the team, because we'll have everybody out there.
Yep. And you mentioned Luke Wharton, one of the recruits. On the recruiting front, one of your priorities was to strengthen the midfield, and obviously with Jordan McKenzie and Matty Madonna coming on board, we think we've done that well. Probably talk through those two and the other recruits we've picked up.
Yeah, look, Geordie's come into obviously this environment from Melbourne, where he spent 7 years, I reckon, on their list, and he's an absolute professional. He's a leader, and he's already grabbing young guys and pulling them aside and practicing whatever needs to be practiced as far as football goes. So he's been a great addition to this football club. The other one's Matt McDonough from Richmond. He's still young, he's 21, I think, 21, 22, around that age, and he comes from Woodville, went to Richmond, spent 3 years there in obviously a good footballing program, and he has come back, got great skills, and he can run as well, so he'll be a great addition to the midfield. Big, strong body that can win a hard ball, which will be great for this competition. Then you got guys like Lewis Hender from Glenelg. He's having a good pre-season, probably one of his better ones that he's had. He'll be fit come round 1, and I think he'll be another great addition. Big body, uses the ball really well. Sam Gordon from Port Adelaide is slowly getting back into our program. He's had a little bit of a back issue, which he had at Port, and he's starting to run a bit more now. So again, I think he'll be ready to go come January.
Yep. And the other recruit in Mitch Harvey.
Yeah.
Obviously, you had a bit to do with him at Port. He's obviously a North LA junior, come back to the club. Your expectations for Mitch this year?
Yeah, Mitch is he's been training really well as he's come back. Pre-season probably not Mitch's strength, but footy-wise he's going well. He's showing some leadership to pulling young guys aside and teaching them about being a forward and obviously where he's come from as well in an AFL environment. So yeah, we're looking forward to Mitch just playing his role, being a strong key forward and giving us a target up forward to kick to and taking a few grabs and kicking a few goals.
And in the coaching box, Brad Dodd's come on board as a full-time development coach as well as your midfield coach at league level. You obviously know Brad pretty well. His specific role, you can let the members and supporters know what you expect of him this year.
Yeah, look, he'll be looking after our really 17 to 23-year-olds at the footy club and making sure the transition from reserves or 18s through to league is there, and even through the AFL as well. So he's put a development squad together and he's given those guys some goals that they need to achieve and also how to get there as far as what they're going to work on. So he works pretty closely with that group and they're coming together and already starting to see some good signs from those guys on the training track.
And just the plan for the boys over the break. Obviously we've got one more session tomorrow night on the Friday. And what's the expectation of the playing group over the break?
Yeah, look, they get a reasonable break. They break up on Saturday morning, which is the 19th, I think, Tubbs, and then they come back on the 11th. So the expectations are whatever fitness level they're at right now, they can't come back with any, I suppose, worse off times or skin folds or anything like that when they get back. Otherwise, they'll obviously have to do extra sessions. But I've got a lot of trust in the group. I think we've got a good group that we're working with right now, and I know that. When they come back, they'll be ready to go for 2016.
All right, thanks for your time, Josh, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone out there in Reesterland. Thanks very much.
Thank you.